Hi, I'm Lescliffe from Not Lobia. Please, Jenny, let me out from the modelling dungeon. And you're watching The Monday Club.
It's Monday, it's 7 p.m, and the Bronx are on parade. It's time for The Monday Club, featuring your host, Jennifer Kirk, with the help of the Covered Monkey, and your host with the Topsy Toaster, and a wizard called Gandalf, featuring the sounds of the Glass Symphony Orchestra and the musical stylings of Gordon, the music maestro. Let's get ready to loco! Ho, ho, ho! Ooh.
Hello and welcome to Scenics. We are an award-winning specialist and manufacturer for miniature scenery modelling. We are proud to have produced one of the best-selling ProGrass micro applicators, and we've refined our quality products and systems with both beginners and expert modelers in mind. We supply and manufacture everything you may need, from static grass applicators, static grass tufts, handcrafted MDF and hand-poured resin products, all designed and curated in-house, with you, the modeler, in mind. You can find us at www.scenics.com or in store at Unit 6, Buford Court, Plasmal, Swansea.
A big hello to you. So great to see you and I hope I find you well. I'm Jenny Kirk. This is the Monday Club. If I sound a bit hoarse, then that's because I am quite ill at the moment. Let me adjust my chair. There we go. So yes, I've been incredibly ill since last year, which normally any other time of the year would be like, oh my god. But as it's only been, 8 days, that'll be why. So we're going to crack on today, because this is actually, we did initially intend to be just talking about what Hornby we're going to announce tomorrow. I don't know, which is why we can happily speculate. So I haven't checked my emails in case they've sent me the press release. But a bigger news story broke pretty much as we were preparing all of the stuff for Monday Club, and that is the Hattons is closing down. Now, Hattons is a business that has been part of the fabric of the model railway world since, I think it's 1946, when Norman Hatton was demobbed from the army. Now, we got on the screen the Hattons website, the closure page. So, excuse me, if you already have orders with them, I believe these are ring-fenced. They've done a deal with, I think it's Rails of Sheffield, so that you'll still get the items you've ordered. It means you don't have to worry about if you've ordered something that's sold out, then the deal has been done to make sure that you will still get that. Some of the forthcoming announced Hattons items are still going ahead. So batch 2 of the Genesis coaches is still happening, but batch 3 is officially cancelled.
We're going to apologise now because
there'll be a lot of coughing fits.
Jen will
well.
be coughing.
I'm in a really bad way because I've got scarring in my lungs from pneumonia as a child, so it does make it very difficult. So I may be fighting for air a lot through this. So at the moment they've got their closing down sale on. I don't think there's a date given at which they will actually close. I've seen some people speculating, and it does annoy me when people just make stuff up.
Yeah. Don't go in there and just pull a date out of your bum, because you don't know.
Yeah, why do people do that?
Please.
The honest truth is that Hattons have not given a date by which they will be closing down. So at the moment...
Can I just say one thing before we go any further?
Yes?
Please, for everyone who's been talking, they go, this was inevitable, I called this, I don't care and all of that. Please remember there are people behind this company. People who are just like you and me, who are trying to do a job.
Absolutely, and that's what I was going to be coming over to. I have spoken to Richard Davies and made sure that all is well. So, when something like this happens, there's a lot of people who put a lot of time and passion, and in some instances, there's people here who've been working at Hattons for years and years and years. So, you do worry about how they're holding up. So, hopefully things will go well. Hattons is not insolvent, so those people spread...
It's going to be okay, Jen.
Those people spreading rumours online that they've gone bankrupt, that is not the case. They are completely solvent. So, there's no issue there with that. Right, anyway, so let's bring the main screen up so I can...
that is on the main screen.
No, let me bring the main screen back up.
Ah, right,
so that
okay.
I can get the chat on there.
Okay, yeah.
So, we've got Francis Wadsworth, SHGP Media, Chobberton Junction, Route 7 Railway, Mousehole Rail, Alan Reynolds of Buckland Junction. Oh, a big thank you to Scanman.
Thank you so much.
Who's very, very kindly sent $9.99 on the super chat from Montana. Says, Happy Monday. Oh, you twisted my melon, man. Growler Blackwood Engaged Layout says, I feel sorry for the staff who are about to be made redundant.
Yeah.
Absolutely, always the case. Stephen McClay says, good morning from New Zealand. Patrick Ling, hello, Bluegrass Rail fan. Still wonder what the deal was with them buying MB Klein here in the US within the past month or so. I'm sure that they'll make further information available as they go on. I'd like to think that's all part of the grand plan. As they've made clear on their website, they're not bankrupt, they're not insolvent. This isn't a fire sale.
Yeah.
This is a structured closing down in the UK. So, you just got to really feel for all the people who've been working at Hattons over the years. I know a lot of people at Hattons.
A lot of people in the industry have got a good start at Hattons.
Yes. I know a lot of people at Hattons have been there for a great many years. So, can I have the chat back, please?
I wanted to talk about this bit. Some of the things they're saying. Changing market conditions, changing customer demographics, supply chain disruption. It's all added up. And we've seen it ourselves. The cost of postage alone is going through the roof.
Yeah, I mean, cost of food. And you may think, well, what's cost of food got to do with model trains? Well, people's disposable income has a lot to do with that.
Exactly. If you can't eat, you're not buying trains.
Michael Wiles says, hello from the UK. Anyone else sending their Accurascale Class 37 back? Now, I have been told a few people have come to me and said that... sorry, I just give that a nudge. I was running my Hattons Andrew Barclay, and it's being a bit of a nuisance of itself at the moment. But yeah, I've seen quite a few people have got in touch about having problems with the Accurascale 37s, and 92s have been mentioned as well. I'm actually running mine at the moment, so you'll just see it coming into view at the bottom there. So far, I've not had any issues with mine, but I am keeping an eye on it after people have started asking me, oh, has your 37 had any issues? New Junction normally swings by, so I'm sure he's the person to ask about various things. Route 7 Railway says, I wonder if anyone could take over a going concern.
We were thinking about that earlier on, weren't we? And the fact is that we don't know all the facts yet. I wouldn't want to speculate on when or if anyone would step in. There might be a possibility, there might not be. We just don't know. So, like we were saying earlier on, we can't speculate. We don't know the facts.
Yeah.
So, who knows?
Bo Minnick does a hello from the cold centre of the USA. Big hello to you. Now, my voice is in the process of packing up and messing me about. I'm really ill at the moment, as you can probably tell. So if I have coughing fits, do bear with me. It means I can't be my usual red hot maximum bottom kicking self.
Which is good for my bottom.
But Topsy is quite happy about that.
Ben Davis, yes, unfortunately it is true. Hattons are closing down.
Yeah, I mean, Facebook just went mad with posts of this. Hattons shared it on their Facebook page. I guess they did the usual rumour mongers. They thought, well, we'll just get it straight out there. So that's out there on Facebook, and it's pretty much all anybody's talking about. And I guess they've chosen now. Well, people wondered, what's this? Why now? I guess tomorrow morning we've got the Hornby announcement, so there'll be a flurry of people wanting to come and start placing pre-orders for Hornby stuff. And quite simply, that they weren't going to be taking any.
Yeah.
There's no more pre-orders for forthcoming announced stuff. So I guess people would start asking questions, and the rumour mill would be speculating tomorrow.
Yeah.
When people would be saying, "Why can't I order this?"
Moreover, the fact is, this announcement came at 5 o'clock on a Monday, which means that they've probably spent, the people running Hattons have probably spent the entirety of the weekend trying to find a last-minute way out of this.
Yeah.
And then they talked to all their staff today and then made the announcement.
Air Knight says, I hope they do decide to proceed with the P-Class second run. I think that is going ahead. The Andrew Barclay second run is, I think it's no third run, isn't. Batch 3 of the Genesis coaches isn't. The Bile Hacks are not going ahead. Some other things are. So batch 2 of the Genesis ones is still getting out there. And those models aren't going to just disappear into the ether. I think, if Hattons doesn't continue its manufacturing arm into the future as a separate going concern, then those models represent an asset, and I guess will be sold to another manufacturer. We already saw the Hattons Class 66 moving over to Akira scale.
Okay. So it's a sad situation. I was thinking about this as I was prepping our dinner before we went live, and thinking, I'm a small business owner. You, Jen, are also a small business owner. Surely you've had this as well. Because for me, this is my nightmare. They're saying they're not insolvent, which basically means that things just haven't worked out. And that's the worst thing, because how could I have done anything different? That's going to be going around their heads now. Yeah, I would hate to be in that position.
Wardle Restoration says, good evening. All hope everyone's well. Oh, I'm really quite ill, struggling to breathe and fighting for air. But it says, anyone know if Hattons is closing? Not heard anything. I think that there's a little bit of
a little bit of gallows humour there.
Yeah, but Hattons is definitely closing. They're not insolvent. This is not a bankruptcy. So, let's not speculate about that at all.
So what I want to do before we go any further, Jen, before I say, do you want to sit on the sidelines and do the production while I cover the show, so that your voice can have a rest?
You may have to jump in.
I have to ask one question. Do we have a sponsor?
Yes, we do. World Scenics. You may have seen that at the start. Try and keep up.
I tried keeping up, but then I fell over and it got away from me.
Yeah. Iron Horse Railway says, Jenny, I fear that you've got what I had when I visited. Oh. Well, actually, no, I was already ill, I think. When did
you came round because we both realised that, we all realised that we all had the same thing. So it wouldn't be a problem if you...
Yeah, I think this was generously donated to me by somebody at my sister's wedding.
Yes.
Melchester on the railway. Big hello to you, Clive Cobalt. Joshua W56 says someone has to take Hattons' place, and I think for quite a few years, Rails have become the #1 retailer in the UK, and it shows what a fall from grace in a way this is. Hattons was the undisputed #1 retailer, I guess, up until there was a disagreement with Bachmann about stocking Bachmann items. Up until then, Hattons was the clear leader, and very much Rails was the #2. I can remember when we did a lot of work with Hattons promoting the hobby. Yeah. And Rails was almost a little parochial family-run shop.
Yeah.
By comparison,
And rails have exploded over the last few years.
Iron Horse Railway says it sucks. I'm happy to do a call in if anybody wants me to. Well, stand by your phone.
Yeah, stand by
just
for
in
action.
case. But yes, so Hattons is. We will be repeating this throughout the show for latecomers. Hattons is closing down, but we're keen to stress that they are not insolvent. They are not going bankrupt. This is an organised closing down.
Yes.
For reasons that I'm guessing that Hattons will be making clear as we go forward. So
1968 Concorde, no, they haven't.
What?
No, we can't have speculation. We really
No,
can't.
no.
This is.
Hattons-
It's important that we don't have speculation.
It's very important to stress Hattons are not trading whilst insolvent. They are not bankrupt. So
they've closed before they got to that point, which
we don't even know that's the reason.
that's true. But we don't even know. That's the thing. This is the problem with speculation. We end up missaying things. We know they're not insolvent. They've made very strong points about that on their website, on the announcement. So we can't go down that route. What we know is that they've ceased. They're closing their doors and having a closing down sale.
Yeah. And it just goes to show that, one of the things that we bring up time and time again is that your local model shop, use it or lose it.
Yes.
And it does bring into focus the fact that, the most important thing for a model shop is for people to support them. And, it is a sad case of affairs.
I really want to say, can you step down and have a rest for a little bit? I'll take the next bit if you want.
You feel free to answer people's questions.
So, just got the email. He's in shock. Yeah, says Concorde. Yeah, absolutely. We're all in shock. This came out of the blue.
But also, the other hot topic of today is, I guess we need to let's change the view.
You want to change the view?
Oh, can you move the camera up? That's gone a bit low.
I can move the camera wherever you want it, baby.
Yeah, just up a little bit. Just you know what it's supposed to show. That'll do. Leave it there.
There we go.
So we're also talking about Hornby announcements tomorrow. B. Mozza says, hi to you both. Did you get the package last year? Yeah, just right at the end of last year. Yes, we did. Thank you so much. The N-Gauge wagons from... not N-Gauge. 009 wagons from 247 Developments. Now, unfortunately, I've been ill since New Year's Day. Woke up on New Year's Day. It's like, New Year. Here you go. Good for you. You're fine.
Yeah, new illness.
So we're currently burning through the buffer. Now, YouTube channels generally have a buffer, which is a number of videos ahead of what's actually going out. So at the moment, we're putting out videos that were filmed before I got ill. So it also means that projects are kind of on a hiatus at the moment, because I've spent most of my time trying to breathe, basically. So thank you so much for sending those. We will get round to taking a look at those at some point, but we are quite far behind with our pile of projects.
Unfortunately, that's just how it is. So, we've also got this other thing coming up. I've heard of this small upcoming company that's trying to get into the model railway world called Hornby or
something
Hornby?
like that.
So these new up and comers. What do you think they're going to be saying?
So we've got the Hornby announcements coming tomorrow at 9. We will be doing a live stream. We're going to kick off probably about 10 o'clock. Do keep a weather eye on your YouTube feeds, because there will be a live stream from us covering the Hornby announcements. Hornby are sending the press release, so we will have something to work for. But it's there's always a lot of speculation. What are they going to do? I think the bottom line of this is that there's still items that were announced last year, like the B17-5s, the streamlined B17s that haven't yet arrived. We've got the smoke generator locomotives haven't yet arrived, are imminent but haven't yet arrived. So there is still a little bit of a backlog, but it's always fun to have a think about what they could logically introduce.
Planet. I want to see some more to go with the
Planet or
the first
PPT.
era. Yeah.
Or
or the Catch Me Who Can.
Zantec asks, 15 coaches behind the Class 31? Yeah, something like that. There is a lot going on there. B2000RO Toys John says, hi Jenny and Zoe, this year I'm really hoping to improve my layout with track weathering, proper ballast, static grass, lighting and backgrounds. I might need to turn to you for advice. It's always, always great.
Oh, if you start turning to Jen for advice, I know exactly what's going to happen. She'll talk your ear off.
Jerry Beavier says, Jenny, if you're going to do the stream tomorrow, all the more reason to go easy tonight. Yeah, I know. Right on Track says, still waiting for Dunster Station buildings from last year's announcement. Melchester Model Railway says, still waiting for the Hornby M7. Yes, we actually showcased the announced Hornby M7 in early British Railways Malachite Green. When we filmed the last series of Hornby A Model World, because I happen to have... it's not a pre-production model, it's an actual Hornby M7 that has been professionally relettered and renumbered as that very model. And the reason we filmed with it was because we anticipated that that model would be being released when the programme was transmitted. How's that working out? No, we're still waiting for it. But in terms of educated guesses, I think we may well see an expansion of the Hornby 00 range. Now, what the new models might be, we've had the Turbo Motive, we've had the Princess Coronations, and we've had the A4s now, the most recent releases. So, I suppose, and also the A.
It's okay, Jen. It's okay. I was thinking, what possible alternatives? Because we know there's the Thomas the Tank Engine and all of that.
Well, no, they haven't got the license.
So I was thinking, what other ones could they possibly be going as a possibility to have a look into?
Well,
and
the Hornby 00 range. Hold on. I think obvious candidates for the Hornby 00 treatment would be the N2. It was in the Hornby 00 range as being the first locomotive to be released, and they were there right at the end. Now,
that
the N2 itself,
idea.
there is a former Daypole model in the Hornby range. In fact, actually, I think it was a former mainline model. So it's getting very long in the tooth. It was a good model in its day. So one of my thoughts were, how about an N2 in the Hornby 00 range in the guise of 69567 and 69550 for the early and late crest BR, plus the 5690 in LNER green, and I can't remember what number it had in LNER black. But then the debate would be, would there be faux LMS, GWR and Southern Railway livery versions as well? And it would also give the opportunity to cascade the previous model into the Railroad Plus range. Zantex says, Gandalf, we have a late claimer. Ooh. Oh, he is here. He is here.
A Monday clubber is never late to the wagons, nor are they early. They arrive precisely when they mean to.
Thanks, Gandalf.
Thanks, Gandalf.
So I've got to sum up. I've been looking on the internet, and people are talking about fictional trains that they would love to see models of.
It's like with the internet. You'd think somebody had an opinion on the internet.
I know. I managed to get past all the nerds talking about Star Trek, and I didn't stop. I really hope you go to bed, Jen. Please.
Yeah, but you
Please.
don't know enough about the sunshine.
I don't, but... Please, Jen, please. I'm going to call it a date. I'm sorry, we're calling it a date. But I've been on the internet, and I got past the nerds, and I didn't even join in to talk about the Wrath of Khan this time. And there's some top trains that people would love to see put into model form. Such as the Wanderer from the film Wild Wild West. You know, the locomotive that takes Will Smith and co.
Yeah, I know that. It's actually quite a famous locomotive. It's a real locomotive.
Yes.
It's been used in quite a few films. But
Yes, but can you imagine it with the Wanderer's specific livery? That would be nice. We've also had suggestions of Casey Jr., the train at the start of Dumbo. I think I can. I thought I could.
yeah, but these are American outlines.
Yes, they might be, but
Yeah.
imagine about getting those
Yeah,
into
But
people's
anyway,
hands.
meanwhile, back
But the one that really came to number one that everyone wants to see, the Polar Express.
But you'd need to have a license.
Yes, you would, but you might see it happen, you know?
Anyway, now meanwhile, back at the ranch, we've also got. I think the N2 is a good shout. Not saying it will, but I think that would be a good option. I think the D49 is another model which Hornby would consider very much its own, and is long overdue for a revamp, with the ability of the current tooling version to be cascaded to the Railroad Plus range. And I think we're going to see more in the way of the Railroad Plus range. It's certainly catering for a part of the market that does seem to be completely neglected for the people on a much tighter budget and the younger modeler, which I think is very good. We've just had the review of the Class 31.
I love some of the ideas that people are suggesting here. The train from GoldenEye.
It
Yes.
was a Class 20 with a fiberglass casing on it.
So, there we go. That sounds like a great one. So
I
that'll
like
be cool.
that. DCC Locomotive James says new plugs with a DCC socket.
That would be nice.
Now, I think the Pug is another one of those locomotives which I would not be surprised if somebody, be it Hornby or somebody else, is working on. But I think as well, Dean singles, Caledonian singles are again ripe for an upgrade. And maybe this will be a year where we'll see a consolidation where Hornby upgrades older models. I've seen a lot of people asking for an upgraded 8F, but the reality is I don't think their 8F is too bad. Well, you're getting all excited over there. Look,
So,
you're making Topsy get excited.
Joshua Atkins has just said, the train from the Orient Express. I'll do you one better, Josh. How about an Orient Express box set with a 00 gauge Hercule Poirot?
It's too niche, and
How is Poirot niche?
No, I think it's Trix already make the locomotive that was featured in.
I want a 00 gauge Hercule Poirot.
Bo Minnick, absolutely right. American prototypes, just don't work. Breezer 707, London and South Western Railway T3 class. Now the T3 has been restored and gone into steam at Swanage Railway. First time it's run in a very long time. I think it's something like 70 or 80 years. The T3, now I'll tell you now, 100% somebody is working on a model of the T3, and they'd be foolish not to. There is going to be a model of the T3.
Could you please make a 00 gauge Hercule Poirot? I really want him to go next to my Ghostbusters.
Yeah. The T3 is going to be made, ready to run, sometime probably in the next year. Who is going to announce it? Now that is the big question that I can't answer. If it's going to be Hornby, they will announce it tomorrow. It's as simple as that. So
Yeah.
if Hornby don't announce a T3 tomorrow, then that's pretty certain that we're looking at, most likely I would say, Bachmann working on it would be my guess. So all the people asking for a T3, rest assured, one is pretty much certain to be coming. But you'll find out tomorrow whether the manufacturer making it is Hornby or otherwise. But yeah.
So here's the other thing. Jen is going to be doing a show tomorrow. I hope that you're going to wrap up warm, because you haven't tonight.
I'll do it. Probably do it in the office at your computer.
Oh, lovely.
But Awesome Bricks asks, bring back the ex-Lima Irish stuff. The thing is, though, wasn't that just a Class 33 painted up to look like an A-Class?
So it's unique.
Yeah,
Didn't Akira Scale do an A-Class?
Yeah, they did an A-Class painted up like a 33.
That was hilarious.
Including a sound chip that had a recording of a growly, crunchy Lima pancake motor, so it made the right sound.
That is fantastic.
Yeah, Breezer 707 and Knockers Lane both suggesting Gladstone. I'd also say Midland Spinner. We're looking at the 200th anniversary of the Stockton and Darlington Railway. So we're going to be having a 200th anniversary cavalcade, most likely. Certainly, there was a 100th anniversary cavalcade and a 150th anniversary cavalcade. And some of the locomotives that were featured, certainly in the 150th anniversary in the 1970s, have never been offered ready to run. I can think of the I think it's the C2 Atlantic. So we've had a model of the C1 Atlantic, but the C2 Atlantic, as Henry Oakley, that's never been offered. The Midland Spinner is another high-profile candidate.
What's the Midland Spinner?
It's I think it's like a 422 locomotive. Yeah. So I think that the Stockton and Darlington Railway 200th bicentennial is probably going to be a vein for.
Guys, we're going to close at 8 p.m. tonight.
Are we?
I'm sorry, but you need to get rest, Jen.
Yeah. Up to date. Hannings Rest Mother Railway says an up-to-date Caledonian single wheeler. I think that could be that. Locomotion number 1 says Stuart Higgins. I think that is unlikely. Technologically, that would be too complicated to do and make work.
East Coast Steam says, looks like Hallion are doing the U1.
Yeah, we announced
I've heard
that a while ago.
A few problems of anyone doing the U2, though, because Bono needs final say.
Yeah, but you know what they say about those people looking for a U2? They still haven't found what they're looking for.
They still haven't found...
Sam Spirell suggests Valley's 56XX.
Oh, Valley's 56XX, yeah, the Samperai. Didn't someone already do that? Or announce it?
No.
Is this one that we've been talking about in previous years, the Samperai? I am worried about you. I really think you should just go to bed.
Just talking is drink business.
Right. So why don't you have a drink for a little bit, and...
I'm going to swap places with Zoe because I really, as you may have guessed, not feeling the best.
Come on, babe. Come on. Come on. It's okay. It's okay. Come on. You slide back this way. Come on.
Yeah.
Come on.
It's just the talking.
Yes, it is. That's why it's going to be okay. Come on.
Yeah, okay. Yeah. You go and talk to the nice people.
I'm trying to get you to sit down.
Yeah, well, I can sit myself down. You go and... Hey.
Sorry, Topsy. I'm a bit fat. I'm knocking you out the way. Ladies and gentlemen, it's a Covered Monkey Takeover. Am I on the screen? Yes, I am. Oh my goodness. I now control the horizontal and the vertical. And I will use this power, ladies and gentlemen, to tell you that the news tonight is, of course... That always sounds like it's going to follow.
Yeah, look, it's fine.
The news tonight is, of course, that Hattons are closing down.
Yeah.
They've made it very clear that it's not insolvency. And they've mentioned a lot of highlighted costs that have increased over the years. And to be honest with you, as a small business owner who knows how much costs have gone up, my goodness, postage alone can destroy your business these days. I have to say, I'm sad to see them closing down, but I understand, and we'll see how it goes. And my personal best wishes go out to everyone who is, of course, who will have been trying their best, hand over fist, to try and keep that business going. I have sympathies because it's my nightmare scenario as well as a small business owner. However, I am going to now use my powers to call up the Iron Horse with his powers of wondering what might be coming tomorrow for their Hattons. I have no idea where the Iron Horse is on here. Can you please summon the
Yeah, I
horse?
was about to say, give it to me.
She will be coming in a moment. Thanks, Jenny, for the onboard camera, says Barry Wenton. Yes, the onboard camera was a great... I like that. It gives you a different view of all of this. Xantix says, given the malarkey I had trying to get parts from Germany, I can relate to the EU supply chain issues. Yeah, it's not just the EU. Everything's getting incredibly expensive. Dealing with paperwork now that we're an independent country is a problem for a lot of people, and it's not just people in the UK, it's people outside as well. I've seen that a lot, and while I said at the time when we left the EU that it would sort itself out eventually, the fact that we've just had a worldwide plague has not helped. So we'll see how that goes, but it's been a lot of issues here, there, and everywhere, and it all adds up. And I am really, really sorry to see them go, because Hattons has been good. We've enjoyed every time we've been there, and it's sad to see. But these things unfortunately happen.
Hello,
and it just goes to show.
Are you alright to talk?
Jen's just asking if Iron Horse can come on. If you don't know Craig's number, give him a ring, he'll tell you.
Right, look, let me see if I can put you on the speaker. Right.
Press the speaker.
Which one's the speaker?
Why don't I press it with
You press
my
it.
buttons? Hello, you are live on air.
Hello. I'm actually
How are you doing?
You don't need to shout.
better than you two from the sound of things.
Yeah, it's not been the best. Let's put it that way.
No, I mean, I've had the cough and it's still gone away. And the fact that Jen had pneumonia when she was younger will not be helping the situation.
No, it's not.
You see,
No.
this is what I've been saying for ages, but she doesn't listen to me.
Anyway,
I
talk
think
about
that it needs to be.
talk about trains, not about me or my lungs.
Well, I mean, there's the elephant in the room, isn't there? Hattons have decided to close their doors, and as viewers of my channel will know, this is something that I spoke about. At what point will it become where the retailers can no longer afford to stay in the game because of the increases in things like postage and the price of the models and shipping and everything else involved with it? And quite clearly, the answer to that question is not very long.
Yeah. That's it. When you've got so many factors pushing on your business, it going up a little bit here and there is horrible.
The problem is it's not just one or two big costs, it's every little cost.
Everything, yes.
And it has a huge effect, and it's just really unfortunate that this has happened to Hattons. I mean, it could have happened to anyone, but it's happened to them. And I know people are going to be nasty about it. Let's face it, people love an opportunity to be nasty, don't they? And speculate and say, I'm glad they've gone because of X, Y, and Z reason. But what they are overlooking is the many people that don't have a say in how Hattons have been run, and they have bills to pay and families to look out for.
Yeah.
And it's them that are going to feel this.
Yes, and that is it at the end of the day. It's what I was saying at the start of the show. People that are saying that they're happy or they're glad or anything like that, the ghouls essentially, and I say that fully knowing that it will hurt someone's feelings. I don't care, because the people that they're cheering about are human beings. Same as everyone else.
Yeah, absolutely. And it's just a sad commentary on the whole state of affairs, really.
Yeah.
But there we are. I have made a purchase from their closing down sale.
What have you
I
bought?
must admit, though, I do feel a little bit guilty, but I suppose at this point, every little does help, I suppose.
Yes. Oh, 3B Rail, thank you so much. Thank you.
So 3B Rail has very kindly donated £10 on the super chat to help with cough, cold medication. Go to bed, Jen. Oh, thank you so much.
Please do.
For the Lemsip fund.
Yeah.
But Craig, I've got a big question for you. If
Very
you
well,
could,
I have a big answer for you.
if you could have anything announced in Hornby's announcements tomorrow, what would it be?
I mean, it's very unlikely, but I would like to see the Leslie and Hawthorne Northian, or better known as Gladstone, from August to Porter. I think that would be a jolly little thing to go alongside the likes of their version of Rocket, and of course their version of their version of Lion as well. I think that lends itself really nice to that early era.
Oh, that would be nice.
Racing. I think that would be lovely. But it's unlikely, but I think more so what I would like to expect to see is an update on the TXS decoders. I'd like to see announcements of smaller decoders and improvements to the reliability in terms of not having to constantly reset the decoder every time it hangs up. That would be great.
Yeah, I mean, can I just jump in there, because I am involved with the beta testing on the TXS decoders, and there is progress being made. I mean, at the moment, they're still working through issues that have arisen out of the Android version of the app, and I think, as I made clear at the outset, when the iPhone version was released, but the Android version was pending, and people saying, "Oh, why have they not bothered doing this?" Well, Android's a catch-all of like well over a dozen different, slightly different operating systems.
Yeah, absolutely.
And,
it's not just one; it's many.
All of the issues, pretty much, that have been arising, are from the Android version of the app. So you can imagine that it's been a huge handful. But whilst that's been going on, we're still seeing new profiles being released. They've, by and large, I think there's a couple that have slipped, but by and large, they've still also been able to keep up with the new profiles coming out. And one of the things which I think some people may have missed is that they've started to have profile stuff to do with HM7000 announced, linking in with the international brands. So it looks like there will be profiles for some of the like the Juef and the River Rossi
that's
type
right,
things.
Of course, yes, because you've got all the foreign stuff to do, haven't you?
Yeah, so it looks like that may be happening. There's also talk about, you know, what the end game is for opening it up for profiles for models, which Hornby don't do.
Yeah, I think that would be a good shout, really.
And with regards to the smaller form factor, again, there's designs in hand. It's just simply about availability of the components.
Yeah.
It's just difficult, and this is something which, you know, we've seen
Everyone's struggling.
in the automotive industry in particular, with them just not being able to get certain components. You're finding cars shipping without some of the features. So
absolutely.
you know, this is. It's just unfortunately how things are at the moment.
It is. And it's not just cars, it's not just model railways. We've had years upon years of not being able to get the latest graphics cards for various PCs. Consoles haven't been able to ship in large numbers because the chips aren't available. Basically, we just don't have enough chips anymore because people aren't able to get to work as much.
But it's not just chips, it's things like the Bluetooth antenna. A big part of the TXS board,
Of course, yes.
is the Bluetooth antenna.
It is a big thing. It is a big antenna.
And Hornby have basically been forced to go to a previous iteration of the technology to be able to just get the components.
Yes.
And that's one of the reasons the boards are so big.
Oh, I've got an interesting question for you.
Yes.
Would it be possible to make a smaller chip, and instead of using the Stay Alive plug-in, have an aerial plug-in, so you have an option?
I mean, it could be an option, but I think Hornby are mindful that they have a design for a much smaller decoder. It just needs to wait for the components to come available, and then that
Pending
will
arrival of the
be...
ingredients, so to speak.
Yeah, so, why would you want to put into production a batch of stopgap ones, which then turn out to be quickly superseded?
Well, because they'll sell. They'll keep you in the market, that's why.
I think we will see an announcement of future sound profiles for the TXS. They're largely coming to an end of all the ones that they announced last year. So I think that we're going to get tomorrow an announcement buried away in everything. There will be... Oh, hold on. They've got a TXS version of that.
That'd be good. It'd been nice to see it, because I do like it. It's not without its flaws, but I do like it, and I think it's a great way of doing it.
Oh, I love
really
it.
is.
I mean, as you know, I'm a massive convert to the TXS Bluetooth system. And, I'm running it on iOS, so I've just not experienced that the problems that people report 99% of the time are to do with the Android version of the app. And there's also one of the things which does crop up a lot is there's a lot of people who don't read the instructions.
RTFM.
I'm sorry.
Absolutely.
I'm sorry. I thought I knew how it worked, but it's brand new. I thought I knew how it worked.
It's because we get to see the aftermath of this in the beta testing group on online. They tell us the stories of the people who've come in with this doesn't work, this is rubbish, blah 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 blah, and then when they drill down to the root cause of the problem, it turns out to basically be the user didn't read the manual.
And unfortunately, you can't test for that, and you can't plan for that after a certain level. You can make things as simple as possible, but someone will find a way around it.
Yeah, you could make a circular bench, and you'll still get someone that will bang their head on a corner. It's as simple as that.
Look, I apologise for that.
Oh dear me!
Yeah.
I mean, hopefully, there will be an announcement buried somewhere about the TXS stuff. I'd like to see.
I think it may
I'd
even
like
be...
to see Gladstone, but it's unrealistic.
I think as far as the TXS is concerned, it may even be quite subtle. There'll be new versions of models announced, and there'll be a TXS version available, which will be the hint that, yes, there is a sound file for, say, a D49 or a Class 25 or a Class 42 coming. Will be if they release a version of those in the Railroad Plus range, and like they did with the 55. We learned about a Class 55 sound file through that Railroad Plus model. Was how we actually found out for certain that was coming. And Railroad
I think
Plus...
it'd be a good option for them is just like a generic sound. For example, a generic diesel which sounds a little bit like a Sulzer engine, and one that sounds a little bit like an English electric engine, and one that sounds a little bit like a two-cylinder steamer. Something like that. So
I think, one of the things which has been made very clear on the beta group is that, there's a lot of profiles for Hornby models which haven't been released yet. So logically, from their point of view, that's where they need to concentrate their efforts. Why make a profile for a model that they don't make when they could be making a profile for a model they do make?
Yeah. So everyone in the chat is noticing that Jen has not stopped talking.
Yeah, it's like at the moment my lungs are not tickling, so I'm going to talk until they do. I think there's an interesting comment there. Breezer707 says, "Let's hope Hornby don't put up their prices." I think, unfortunately,
we can
that's a
guarantee
fact
it's
of
going to
life.
happen.
There will be a creep up in RRPs.
Yeah.
That's almost certain. But feeding back into the Hattons announcing that they're shutting up shop, what you may find is that whilst they've announced that they're not doing batch 3 of the Genesis coaches, some of those liveries may appear on the Hornby version of the coaches.
Well, they've got tooling, haven't they, for the Genesis coaches? I'm sure. I know Euroscale bought their Class 66 tooling from them.
Yeah, and
it wouldn't surprise me if the tooling for the Genesis coaches ended up in the hands of Euroscale or someone else as well.
yeah, because I mean they already did a deal for the 66, so it stands to reason. The tooling is an asset, and if they don't have plans to produce stuff in the future, then logically that tooling could be sold on. So people are lamenting that, for example, there's not going to be another batch of the Andrew Barclays from Hattons, but that doesn't preclude maybe tomorrow it'll turn out Hornby's actually bought some of the tooling.
I would like to think that some of the stuff that people obviously love will live on.
Yeah, and another thing as well, I did mention this last year, but the DJ Models tooling for the Class 71, their version of the Class 71, does exist out there somewhere, and it does make me wonder, has somebody bought that and been working on turning it into a Class 74 set of tooling, such that we might find that Hornby announces they're doing a Class 74 and they've used the former DJ Models tooling to make that
It could just
possible.
as easily as well be AFE rail. Use the AFE brand for buying up all the tooling, so that it could even be through them.
And
Yeah,
somebody's bought it.
I'm going to tell Jen now that she's got to go and rest.
Where's my coat?
Yes.
I don't know, Jen. Where did you put it?
I don't know. If I knew where I put
She
it, I'd be
sounds
straight
like
on it, wouldn't
an
I?
80s rock star. Where's my Coke?
Yes.
You did. It's behind you.
Behind me.
It's behind you. So. Please go to bed, Jen. Please. So, guys, Ben Tullett is jumping in saying he agrees with you, Craig. The tooling will most likely be sold on to other manufacturers, and Bachmann might add it to their EFE range. That's actually a very interesting point. They have bought stuff before from other manufacturers.
From DJ Models, the
Yeah.
J94.
Jenny, rest your voice.
Yes. I was talking to Craig.
Oh, I've got lots of things to want to talk about.
Right, do you want to jump back in then? Or are you... Well, Jen has just said... Jenny, please go to bed. Jen's going to head off for a little bit. Hopefully, she's going to take my advice. So, here's the thing. We've got a very ill lady here who really wants to talk trains. So, what can I do with her? Answers on a postcard, please.
Well, I mean, this might sound daft, but if everyone on the chat just logs off, she won't have an audience, and she won't have a reason to talk trains.
This will not get her to stop. I was trying to watch a show the other night, and all she did was talk about things for options for a new layout she wants to build.
It sounds like me, to be fair with you. I can't even judge. I do the same thing. I will look at something on the television and try and find a way to make it about trains. It's terrible. But there we are.
But that's
This
why
is
we
what
like
addiction
the
looks
hobby,
like.
isn't it?
Oh, well.
Craig, thank you so much for joining us.
Oh, my pleasure. Jen, you feel better, and Zoe, you take after yourself as well. All right?
To be honest with you, I'm getting through it. It's one of the advantages of an autoimmune disorder. Like, my immune system never takes a break. It just punches everything.
Fair enough. Everything gets shot.
Yeah.
Even you sometimes. Collateral damage is high.
It is, but it does the job.
Yeah. Okie dokie then. Well, I'll probably watch your stream as well in a little bit whenever you go live, and I'll see everyone else in the chat later on as well. Jen, you take care, and I'll speak to you all soon.
But before you go, Craig, where can people find you? Because I know you've got a rather snazzy YouTube channel of your own, haven't you?
Yeah, you can just search for Iron Horse Railways, and it's become a little bit of a weekly chat thing. It didn't start out like that, but it's become me talking varying levels of broken biscuits towards the camera, and people seem to like that. And it's not the aim is not to upset people or to ruffle feathers. It's to get people talking and to get people considering points that actually they might not have considered before.
Yeah, I like that.
That's what it's about.
I like that.
So yeah.
Okay, well, thank you so much.
This week's video is going to be about it's not being. How do I put this? It's about not being afraid to expect better when we're paying top dollar. A lot of people apologise for manufacturers when things go wrong, and when you're paying £300 for a model, shouldn't you be able to just expect it to work? Is that too much? Is that unreasonable? I don't know if it is. Well, this is one of the points we're looking at this week. So
right.
There we are.
Well, I'll look forward to that. Thank you.
My pleasure. No worries. I will see you all later on.
All right, take care and have a good night.
Bye-bye.
Bye.
You too. Bye-bye.
That was Iron Horse Railways, everyone, and very, very appreciative of him jumping in there to give his views. That's one of the things that I wanted to talk to you guys about, and I can now that Jen isn't coughing and spluttering as much because she's gone off to try and rest for a second. She'll no doubt come back. But one of the ideas for this year, we have a Discord chat. We have a Discord channel, and on there is a voice chat option. Now, I haven't got it set up here yet, and it's one of the things that I'm going to be doing later in this year. That I want to be able to say to people, do you want to drop in on that voice chat, and we can all have a discussion? Because that way it's not just about one-on-one, where we have one person join in and I read out some of the comments every now and again to tell the person on the phone what people are saying. We'll be able to have a multi-way discussion. Now, it's not going to happen straight away, and I've got to work out how to fit it into the sound deck that we've got. I know it already works on my gaming setup because it's very interested, a very internal system with that, and it all just works. Jen's setup is slightly different, so we've got to make sure that works there. But the idea is that on the Discord, you'll be able to drop in on the chat, and every now and again, we can say, and we'll see what's coming from the chat, and I think that'll be nice. And it'll get more people in, because I love the idea of a chat show, and I think a few of you guys have said the same thing when call-in show, yes. Donget's Model Railway, yes, you know what I'm talking about. Ironhorse says his voice is now gone. Oh, I'm sorry to hear that. B2000 Darrow Toys Channel. Will Jenny be attending this year's Doncaster Festival? I don't know. I will ask her. I'll ask her in a moment while we jump to a quick word from our sponsor while I go and see. Back in a moment.
Hello and welcome to Scenics. We are an award-winning specialist and manufacturer for miniature scenery modelling. We are proud to have produced one of the best-selling ProGrass micro applicators, and we've refined our quality products and systems with both beginners and expert modelers in mind. We supply and manufacture everything you may need, from static glass applicators, static glass tufts, handcrafted MDF and hand-poured resin products, all designed and curated in-house, with you, the modeler, in mind. You can find us at www.scenics.com or in store at Unit 6, Buford Court, Plasmal, Swansea.
So thank you very much there to World Scenics, WW Scenics. And I've just spoken to Jen, and she says that hopefully she will be at Doncaster. I don't think she's coming back to the chat though. She's really gone quite ill now. She's taken a bad turn tonight. We will be doing the show tomorrow at 10. I've got to set that up as well. But for now, we're coming up to 8 o'clock. I'm going to say thank you so much for joining us. Jenny is now on my... Jenny's on my phone in the bedroom where I've left it. She's speaking as Gamehammer Classic Gaming. So there we are. But thank you so much for joining us tonight. I don't think we've got the ability to do an awful lot more. You know what? Come on, let's do this. Let's see if I can get this to... Where's me? There we are. Do we have any videos to show? We do. Let's do the videos. I'm just going to grab a mouse mat. Sorry about this. We're very ad hoc tonight, aren't we? Topsy, I'm going to ask you to budge over a little bit. I know, Topsy, I know. We're going to do some... yeah, talking was trickling the cough. Yes, it was, Jen. I've been telling you for that for a while, but you wouldn't listen. She would not let it lie. So I'm going to now grab a page and put that over here. And then you guys can't see any of this because that's how this works. And I am going to grab our support deck so I know what's going on. We're now going to go for emails and try my best to make this work on the fly as we go. So if we have any things, let's do this. Oh my goodness, why can't I get the... There it is. So here we go. Right, let me try this. I'm going to try and bring... you need a wireless trackball mouse. You mean this? What I actually need is a wireless keyboard up here, but I don't have one, so I'm typing in for the emails to try and get the email system up and running, and then we can try our best to bring up some pictures and some videos. I must say, sir, you know, the wife will never listen, so in your household it stands to reason that no one's listening to anyone. Oh dear. Oh my goodness, I've just had a message come through that says Hercule Poirot 3D figure. So we're going to look to that first. Scale 3D. Do Hercule Poirot. Guys, I'm jumping to it now. Scale 3D, famous detective Hercule Poirot, and it's the right. He looks oh, I need this. I need it. Oh, I am getting one of these. I am getting one. Oh, thank you very much, Richard Sudowski, for sending that in. I'm going to put that straight into the chat. Yes, Hercule Poirot. And $2.49 including VAT for double O scale. You can't be robbed for that. I'm sorry, you can't be robbed for that. That is so cool. What other scales have they got? Can I get a life-size one? Jeez. We can get a garden railway scale. And it's only a tenner. That is amazing. O gauge? Yeah, it's like four. Guys. Oh my goodness. Bit plumper than the Branner version. Yeah, it's the David Suchet version, the good version, the one that I like. Oh, that is so good. Thank you so much for sending that in. I am buying one of them after the show. Because, let's put it this way, if I put in my details now, that's a great way to get hacked. Because I know that we're all friends here and wouldn't do that. But you never know who else is watching. So, always be careful on the internet. So, that looks amazing. Yeah, J. Paul Anderson. Yeah, you're right. That looks great. So thank you so much for sending that in. That is so good. So who else have we got in our list? We don't have a huge amount of videos, so we won't be going all night. But hey! Did say ages back to look at the 3D print man. Yes. Thank you, Ham Shackleton. Yes. Ask Sue to paint him for you. Yeah. I will look into that. I like painting them myself, though. Oh my goodness, guys, I got such eye strain when I was painting the little guys that have gone. They're somewhere on here now. I don't know where. But I painted a load of people and I painted Jen and all that. I got such eye strain. I've got to get myself some of those, because this eye, it's always had problems. But, oh my goodness, I had eye strain for hours afterward, and it hurt for days after that. Because I've been painting these tiny models, and I've got to get myself... I've got the Ghostbusters and some pumpkins, and I haven't painted them at all yet. Because I have to, like, seriously medically need to get one of those sets of glasses that has the magnifying glass on them so I can just sit there and paint. I need to do that before I do any more. But yeah. So, who have we got coming up now? So, this is from Colin at Going to the Dogs, who says, "Hi Jen and Zoe. Jen is in bed at the moment, but I'm sure she's still listening." Oh yes, she is. She's just there. Iron Horse also says he does enjoy painting as well. Or the way he's put it, shall we put it and say, he takes much pleasure from brushing a little man in his fingers. Oh dear. Oh, matron. Yes. So, Colin from Going to the Dogs has sent us a message saying, "Please find my latest video created following a visit to Miniature Wonderland in Hamburg." Oh, we've got to see this. The attraction is absolutely stunning. Yes, I've heard it is. So, let's do this. Miniature Wonderland. I do want to see this in person myself. So I'm going to grab that. It takes me a little longer to do this than it would if Jen was here and I was doing this in the background. But we can do what we can. So I'm vamping a little bit, as you might notice, so I can get this onto the screen. Let's do this. Let's have a look at Miniature Wonderland. Here we go. A visit to Miniature Wonderland. Oh my goodness, that looks like a hell of a sized building. An old factory, I bet. A model extravaganza, not just a model LA. Yes, I bet. Willkommen im Kleinstadt Start der Welt. I don't know what any of that means. My German is terrible! People come from all around the world to hear my German and then tell me not to do it. So, oh, this looks wonderful. Oh my goodness. Look at all the... Oh, little Christmas trees. That's fantastic. Oh. Oh. It's on multiple levels and it looks fantastic. The scenery's just perfect. Guys, I need to see this. I really, really need to see this in person. Right. I'll be there pressing my nose up against the glass like... Because I love it. I'm not a trains person per se. I like certain locomotives like a Gronk. But I love model making. I love anything that's small scenery, tiny stuff. It's ooh, I love it. Which is why I like the Engage stuff. Where is some of my Engage? It's... Last time I got control over this side, I didn't get to play an awful lot. So, here we are. Like that. I love little Grunky Gronk. Oh, this is nice. Oh, I love it. Fantastic. So that's my kind of thing. The tinier the better. I really love it. How much would a group coach trip cost to go to Miniature Wonderland? Yes. Oh, the airport. Yes, the aircraft do take off, don't they? It's fantastic. Road transport. Oh, that looks wonderful. I wonder what they're using to do that. Whether it's one of the systems that we see about a lot, or whether they've got their own special thing. Who knows? But this is just... This is the bit. This is the bit. Zantek says, "Is that the Gronk I got you?" It is. Thank you, Zantek. Even the land vehicles. Oh, that is wonderful. Everything's moving. Here we go. Like last time I saw a demonstration of this, the sticks that they're on were obvious. I wonder whether they still are. Come on, it's going to take off. It's going to take off. Yep, the wires that they're on are still obvious. But you know what? It doesn't matter because it's fantastic. And there you go, flying all the way through. That is just... Oh, it's so good. A2 scale on several floors. It's just wonderful. That is fantastic. So yeah, it is on sticks. And that's how they do it. And to be honest with you, I don't see a problem with that. I don't see a problem with the obviousnness of the stuff because it's... Oh! The Falcon! That is so cool. Oh, that is so fantastic. Oh, fantastic. I love it. Guys, I've put the link into the chat. I'm going to say go and see the rest of it because it looks fantastic. And thank you so much for sending that in, going to the dogs. It's a 15-minute video. There's a lot there. Oh, that was so good. That was so good. Thank you so much for sending that in. Next up, we have a message from Mark Wilkes. So I'm going to bring this up. And nope, that's not the button I wanted to press. That's not the button I wanted to press either. Why are you doing this to me? Why? YouTube, what are you doing and why? Yes, that's what I wanted, actually. Have the thing sent to the right place. So this is from Zantec. I'm just going to copy the link and put that into the chat. Let's see if I can spell it so it doesn't look like I'm trying to write out some kind of Aztec deity there. He says, hi guys, as you are probably aware if you've been following the group, I have repainted a set of Mark III coaches and a locomotive. Meet the full Caledonian sleeper. Let's see. Punch it, Chewy says Valleys. Yes! Let's do this. Where's the button again? There it is. Beep, beep, beep. So, the full Caledonian sleeper. This will be in your Engage. I believe Zantec just does Engage. YouTube's been sticky with me too, so yes, YouTube's weird at the moment. Oh, you know what? It looks fantastic. The whole thing with the antlers, wonderful. There's the link as well. Nigel calls her sad news about Hattons closing after 80 years. Yeah, absolutely sad news. I hope that everyone who's been working there finds a new place very quickly, because just after Christmas it's going to be hard. But I hope that everyone gets through this alright. And it is a damn shame. Yeah. Absolute damn shame. You've done a great job there, Zantec. That looks fantastic. Getting everything painted up like that. That is wonderful. Thank you so much for doing that, for sending that in. We've got a link there on the screen. You may have seen it very briefly. YouTube have suggested that Jenny might want to watch the show that we're doing right now while we're on it. We could go truly introspective there. So we got another question. I'm going to have to quickly just blow my nose. Sorry about this. Coughing and spluttering is not the best, but we keep going and try and get it off our chest. Hey, I'm a poet and I really tried hard to make that rhyme. Sorry about that, guys. Namer Gamer YT says, hope you both get well soon. Could I get some advice? My 9-year-old is showing an interest in trains. Where to start? Any advice gratefully received. The best thing I could suggest is have a look at second-hand or marked down Hornby starter sets or Bachmann starter sets, because they're literally designed so that everything's there in the box. You get a locomotive, some carriages to go behind it, a load of track, and the power supply to make it run. That's where I would start. Other people in the chat will probably have their views on that, but I'll let them say what they think. But welcome to the hobby. Let's say that. Yeah, DCC Locomotive James saying a train set. Yeah, an all-in-one box set that gives you the track, the locomotive, the carriages, and the power supply. Power supply is very important because you can't run it without. That's what I would do as a starter. But yeah, for 9-year-olds, that's what Railroad and Railroad Plus is for. Yeah, Don gets you absolutely right. K2 do them as well, says Santa. Yes. So that's what I would look at. Actually, have a look on the Hattons website. It's a horrible thing to say, but they are having a sale right now. Let's put it that way. How can I edit a comment if you stop me from doing that, says Toilet. Edit a comment? I don't think you can edit a comment. No, I don't see about editing comments. Okay, so next up we got from Chris, which is Peachy. Peachy TT120, I believe, says, I'm not sure if you can use Facebook Reels, but here's a shot of me testing the door mechanics on my Roundhouse Camelot. Shh, it's only a model. Happy New Year. Yes, Happy New Year to you too. Let's see if we can get this up. Is Facebook going to blast me with sounds? No, funnily enough, they're not. So let's do this. Let's see if we can bring this up. Browser, yes. Testing the door mechanics with Hornby's TT120 Trigo. I didn't know you could do door mechanics. That's interesting. Door mechanics on a TT120. I suppose they are big enough. Yeah. That would be quite interesting. Oh! It's the door mechanics on the roundhouse! Oh, stupid me. What am I... Oh! That was cool, actually. That was quite cool. That's actually really cool. I like that a lot.
I've got air back in me.
I thought you were going to sleep.
No!
I thought you were going to rest.
No, I've come to talk about Hattons and Hornby.
Okay.
You know there's no chat on screen when you've got that up.
There should be. There wasn't. So there we go.
There we go.
That was fantastic. Thank you so much, Peachy. Jen, do you want to be back in the main seat, or are you okay there?
Yeah, I can come round.
Are you sure?
Mm.
Okay. Well, here
I'll
you
give
go.
it a go.
That was fantastic. Thank you, Peachy.
So, hey there, everyone. I'm going to step back into the hot seat for a little bit.
Auto Gronks. Gronk form.
Okay.
I've got to put the Gronk away.
Yes, waiting, watching.
Gronking! Gronk it up! Come on, everybody, and gronk it up.
Yeah, come on, in your own time.
There you go. You get it.
Oh, what have you done?
I hit my head on the roof.
Oh, well, that was silly, wasn't it?
Oh my god. Oh, it's the bit where all the badges are as well, so it had +2 damage.
A big hello to you. So,
Welcome back.
I couldn't... can I pass the keyboard through to you?
Yes.
Yeah. I couldn't leave you guys for long. So anyway, yes. Big news tonight is Hattons are closing down. They are not bankrupt. They've not gone bust. And this is an organised closing down. I'm sure that they will release more information over the coming weeks. I don't think there's an actual date. I'm sure I read that they haven't set a date. So people making up dates, don't listen to them.
Yeah.
But at the moment there is a sale on. It is a bit tricky to get onto the Hattons website, apparently.
Of course it is, because there's a sale on.
So there'll be a lot of people picking over stuff. But certainly it's a sad day for our hobby. They've been around since 1946, when Norman Hattons, freshly demobbed from the army, used his savings to start Hattons, and certainly it's been one of the fixtures of our hobbies ever since. I think it's the only retailer that is still around from those early days. I can't think of any other retailer that's been around since the 40s, 50s, even 60s. I don't think that there's any survivors from that period. So it's a sad, sad day.
It really is.
To see Hattons closing down. Certainly, for a long time, they were the #1 retailer in the UK. When I started doing YouTube, we actually did quite a bit with Hattons.
Yeah.
Because they were the retailer, and it's quite shocking that it's come to this. Let's have a look. Valley's 56XX says Lendon started in 1944. Are they still going? Tulia 10 says Jen, have a few nips of Jack Daniels. Used to work for me. I do have a bottle of Jack Daniels downstairs.
Do you want me to go and get you something?
No, we don't want booze.
Something harder from the spiced rack.
No. But yeah, I thought it was quite surprising that on Facebook they're actually running sponsored adverts for Hattons. Even whilst Hattons were making the announcement they were closing down. So
there's a very good chance that those were scheduled.
Yeah, you know, you basically you get a deal to buy like 6 months of adverts in advance.
Yeah.
But I have spoken to some members of staff, and it does seem that it's come as a shock for some of them. So, you know, our hearts go out to those people who've worked in some instances for a decade or more for Hattons. Who've now found this straight out the back of Christmas, and it must be quite a worrying time.
Yeah, it's got to be the worst news you
So
can get.
I have spoken with a couple of people from Hattons, and yeah, it's interesting times. They've cited a lot of factors in terms of increasing costs. And yeah, we've seen that across the board, even. And you know, rising cost of food in particular has just been astronomical.
Yes.
And you may think, well, what's that got to do with model railways? Well, I'll tell you. People's disposable income, if you're having to spend more on things like food and fuel, heating your house, on rent, on your mortgage, then there's going to be less for the discretionary spending, such as your hobby. And unfortunately, that is where a lot of these retailers are getting squeezed. But then, of course, the other main news of the day as well is that we've got the scheduled Hornby 2024 announcements coming up tomorrow. And we've done a little bit of speculation in terms of what we think might be coming. Now,
Oh, that is fantastic. Thank you so much for sending that in.
oh, that is nice, actually.
Hercule Poirot.
That is the little gay says.
That is fantastic.
Absolutely, really well done.
It really is.
But yeah, I think dead cert for me is going to be an expansion of TXS profiles. I think Hornby will use tomorrow as a good opportunity to announce more TXS profiles. Now, in terms of what they could be, I think B17 is definitely up there. I think that will go into the list. Now, conspicuous by their absence are some of the, well, in fact, all of the Great Western Railway profiles. There are no GWR profiles currently listed. So I would predict that the Castle and the King will be announced as being in the release schedule for TXS. I'd be very surprised if they weren't there. I think the J36 as well. The J36 is another obvious one. And the Class 20. The Class 20 profile on TTS was, in my opinion, the best profile of them all. And I think that it's quite simply, I'm very surprised it wasn't in the first tranche of announced release. So I expect the Class 20 will be announced. Now, Charlie Chimp says our mortgage has gone from £400 to £950. So that's more than double.
Oh my goodness.
So our disposable income is nearly zero. And you know, have my utter sympathy. I have bought almost nothing in the last couple of months, and you know, I feel it's gone from I used to spend far too much on models. My collection is an indication of just how much disposable income I had when I was working full time.
Yeah.
You know, 400 or so locomotives alone. You know, that's a lot of money. And the past 3 months, I bought one locomotive, and that was Golden Fleece, which, if you're wondering why you haven't seen it, it's because I had to go back. It arrived faulty.
It's not what you want, but unfortunately,
No, it
it's
isn't.
something that happens sometimes.
So everything else that has turned up here has either been a loaner for review, so it's had to go back, or I've been very, very lucky that they haven't asked for the review thing back. But you know, quite simply, in terms of purchasing things myself, I treated myself to Golden Fleece because I'm a sucker for A4s.
So what we've got running now is
Keep going.
I can't when you're coughing because it covers it. So what we've got here is Richard Swiderski's look at the final running day of Pete Waterman's Making Tracks, and it's really nice to see.
It looks like somebody's having a bit of fun with their models on there.
Yeah, well, it's also
Is
nice
that my
to see.
snot rag?
Yeah, your tissue, yes. What it's also nice to see is the amount of kids that come along to see this that are going to therefore be interested in the hobby.
Yeah.
Because we do need that throughput of people.
And when we were at the Great Electric Train Show, I mean, there were 5 or 6 deep. This was incredibly popular. Now we got the Acura Scale takeover, wouldn't be complete there without the Acura Scale 37 and the MDVs. I wonder if any of those is the Monday Club wagon, because I do happen to know that New Junction, aka Richard Watson from Acura Scale, does actually have a Monday Club MDV.
Oh,
Yeah,
this sounds so. Oh,
DCZ Locomotive James says, I need money for the Mega Gronk. Well, actually,
Mega Gronk, Mega Gronk, Mega Gronk.
Hashtag not a cult for legal and tax purposes.
The Gronkaduck cult is not a cult for legal and tax purposes. Your mileage may vary.
Richard Swiderski, you're absolutely welcome. Simon Train's Model Railway Showcase says, I see New Junction in this video. Yeah. Richard Swiderski says, Richard Wilson was there with his trains. Are you sure you don't mean Richard Watson? Because Richard Wilson was like, I don't believe it.
Are you sure?
Yeah.
You know, I met him one time, the guy who played Victor Meldrew.
I don't believe it.
He was at Durham when I was at the Union Society for the debates.
All right.
And his opening speech was amazing. He says, you know how famous you are when people have to book you in advance. So while I was watching television this morning, I was very happy to get a call asking me to speak tonight.
Hey.
I thought that was just so fantastic. But I have to say, I love not just the size and scale of this project that Pete Waterman did, but I also love the departure beacon board that he's got. It's so cool.
Yeah, Stevie Films, the Secura Scale MDO and MDWs on sale with Hattons. I'd love to get some, actually. The only one I actually have is the Monday Club wagon. I never got any of the others for various reasons. So, as much as I'd love to get some, I simply can't afford it at the moment. And, this is part of the problem. The squeeze on finances. As much as I'd love to have a rake of MDV and MDW wagons, I just can't simply justify it. So, Richard Watson, if you're watching, then feel free to send.
She'll bat her eyelids at you. So now this is the thing. Even you.
Oh my word! 48 quid for 3. That's a good price, actually. I don't think they'll stick around at that price.
Even you, whose job is model railways,
you're
cutting back on model railways.
Can't afford it.
It's no wonder people are struggling.
Cost of living's just too high.
Absolutely.
Also, I went self-employed, so my income halved.
Yeah, these things happen. So, guys, thank you so much, Richard, for sending this in. This is fantastic to see.
This is great. But we're going to move on. Full video is available if you want to watch it after the stream. So I'm pressing the magic button. Yeah.
You've buttoned it.
David Scott says making tracks will be even bigger at Key Model Works Show at the NEC in April. And this is
what's he going to add on this time?
I don't know. But certainly Key Model Works Show at the NEC. A brand new show, and that'd be quite interesting. I've talked with a few people actually about this new show, and what's interesting is that there is a word on the grapevine that certainly retailers view it as kind of highlighting just how expensive the Worley show has become. In that what they get charged to go to the traditional Worley Model Rail show at the NEC is something like double what the prices are to go to this Key Model World at Worley, at the NEC. So same venue, half the price.
So someone's pushing something up, and we can't say who because we don't know the
We
full
don't know the ins
information.
and outs of it,
But
but
it wouldn't surprise me if
they might have like a very good introductory deal or something.
yeah, it wouldn't surprise me if they're getting a bit of a come and join us deal, because people do that. So
Yeah.
next up we have from Peter Jackson at Cheadle Heath. He says, "Hi Jenny and Zoe, another short video for your consideration and delectation for showing on the Monday Club. A layout called Raven's Ravine, which features a dragon and Gandalf. So Gandalf, you're on this.
Interesting.
I know, I was there.
Yeah. Simon Train's Muller Hours Showcase says, think Pete Waterman is adding Billsworth and Watford Junction. And then David Scott says, Watford Junction Station. So basically, there will be... there's going to be potentially a Making Tracks 4.
Oh my
Be
goodness, look at
interesting.
this is amazing. But can I just point out one thing? We have a video from Peter Jackson, which has Gandalf in it.
I do like that. It's like
This is so cool.
Look at the dragon. Look at
Yeah.
the wait for it. Wait for it. It will do its thing. Go on, do its thing. Oh, don't let me down.
Yes,
there we go.
See, this is what I love about this hobby. Saying yes, you have photorealistic layouts that are one-to-one, perfect recreations, and then you have people who show up with, "I've got a frickin' dragon on my layout." I love it. Fun, nice. I love it. It's great. Oh, this looks so cool as well.
It looks like Helm's Deep. Oh no, is this the that's the bridge, Devil's something, and it's on the Vale of Ryodale Railway.
Gandalf,
You shall not pass.
Gandalf, can you do it better than I can?
You shall not gronk.
Thank you, Gandalf.
Thank you for that. Brilliant. Warbler
That
Productions
was so
says,
cool.
There we are. Warbler Productions says the price differences are due to the time of year. Worley is on the busiest month for the NEC, so prices will always be
Well, there
higher.
you are. There's a good
And it does
explanation.
then beg the question, why didn't they change the dates? Because that would have made more sense.
Yeah.
So they're going to put, we've always done it this time of year. It's like, well, maybe you should change
Yeah,
it.
maybe you shouldn't. That was so good. Thank you so much for sending
And
that
Neil
in.
Clapton says the Hattons site has gone down. Oh, did somebody give a super chat? There's £10 sat there at the top. Did I miss the super chat?
You missed a chat.
Oh,
there
a
you go.
3B rail. Oh, yeah, I did see that one.
Yeah.
Oh, it stayed up for a while.
Yeah, it happens.
Thank you so much for that. An East Coast team says Worley seems to always share the same weekend as the bike show.
Yeah, these. Unfortunately, if it is the situation where they're on the busiest month, that is why they're going to charge more.
You would have thought that they might go, actually, let's keep the prices down for all these hard-working modelers and these retailers who are struggling to make ends meet. Case in point, you know, we're losing retailers.
We're losing
hand
a
over
big
fist.
one. And that's. Remember when we said use your local shop because
Yeah.
once they're gone, they're not coming back. This
Also,
is a demonstration of that.
Valley's 56XX says, oh dear, just realised, pre-ordered a Rapido Portapar 040 from Hattons. We'll have to sort that out. I believe that your pre-orders are safe. They're being transferred. I don't quote me on this. I think they're being transferred to Rails of Sheffield. So essentially, you won't miss out.
Which is wonderful. That's just wonderful that people are stepping up to help. This community does take care of its own.
Absolutely. And you know, I must admit, my first reaction when the announcement was made was to actually call up some people I know at Hattons and go, "Actually, are you all right?"
Yeah.
You know, because sometimes it's easy to forget there's human people behind all of
Absolutely.
this, just earning a living and suddenly having the rug pulled out from under them.
Yeah,
So
we know exactly how that feels as well,
yeah.
having been in that position.
Yeah, so I spent an hour earlier today just basically checking if people were all right.
Winston Busby has sent us a message saying, "Hi Zoe, Jenny, Topsy and Gandalf.
Oh,
Hope you're all well."
She's excited.
Topsy does love being remembered. Hello Topsy.
Yeah. Oh,
He says, "Hope you're all feeling well and have had a great Christmas and New Year. Thank you for putting out videos throughout the holidays and keeping us all sane."
You're
I don't know
welcome.
about that last bit.
unfortunately, we're nearly out of buffer because I've been so ill. I haven't been able to record anything. But it just shows the importance as a YouTuber. Like, YouTuber top tip, have a buffer.
Yes.
Because you never know when you're going to be ill.
So
Or just want to go on holiday, but in this case, just going to be ill.
So what we've got here is Busby Junction's New Year running locomotives and new scenery. This looks rather nice, actually.
Yeah. Stephen
Oh,
Way
that's
says,
a good
just
shot.
for info, I'm finding the Hattons website is working, but rather slowly. I can imagine that it's going to be like that
It
now
took us
until
15 minutes
tomorrow.
to get the statement up on the screen so we could show you at the start of the show.
It was working just fine when they first made the announcement. I went straight to it.
Yes.
Actually, you told me, you went, hey, have you seen this?
Yeah, I couldn't
3
believe it.
minutes after it went up.
Yeah.
Oh, I do love a terrier.
This is lovely.
Oh, now that's nice.
That is good scenery. Really good scenery.
Nice signals. I mean,
I recognise the style of that signal box at the back as well.
Yeah, well, that signal gantry at the front there, that's the ratio Pratt Truss gantry. So that's the same as the one I've got over there.
I love the piles of sleepers and things. It's just
Oh,
nice
that
little
really
bits,
does
yeah.
make it. And now there's an interesting idea. You see, cutting the back at an angle on the building, so it fits in nicely.
Yes, that is a really good tip there. That it's not something that everyone would think of straight away, but it does work. It's definitely risky.
Charlie Chimp says, I loved the cab ride video, Jenny. Oh, well, thank you so much. I enjoyed doing it, actually.
That's an interesting thing. Look at his back scene.
Oh, yeah, like the photograph through the bridge.
Only through the bridge, though.
Yeah.
That is interesting.
And where's it gone? Charles Walsh says, hi, everyone. Merry Christmas and Happy New Year. Stay healthy. And Dave Don says, Happy New Year all from Bolton Mother Railway Society.
Oh, Happy New Year to you too.
And of course, anybody just joining us, the big breaking news is Hattons have announced that they're closing down. It's not a wind up, and also we can. I would like to stress that Hattons have not gone bust. This is an organised closing down of their UK operation.
Yep.
And in their official statement, they said that pre-orders that have already been made, I believe they've been transferred to Rails of Sheffield, so you won't lose out on that. They're not taking any new pre-orders, and there is some updates on. So, for example, Batch 2 of the Genesis coaches is still going on. Batch 3 has been cancelled. The Andrew Barclays have been cancelled. The Biohacks have been cancelled. I think it said that the P classes are still going ahead, but it's unclear whether these will be distributed elsewhere, I suspect, via. So Hattons says no further pre-orders will be fulfilled by Hattons except for some Hattons original projects. Our friends at Rails of Sheffield are aware of our changes and are ready to accept pre-orders. So they're not automatically being transferred.
Get in touch with Rails, make sure that you're covered.
Or try your local model shop as well.
Try your local shops, yeah.
I like the pull focus on that.
That was very cool. This is a great layout. Thank you so much for sending this in.
Yeah, this is nice.
Oh,
I love that river scene.
Oh yes, that bridge is just. Oh, that is so nice.
That is really nice.
Look at the different colours on the trees and the bushes.
Yeah, Melchester Model Railway says they don't have much new stock in their closing down, so I suspect that they may have been winding down for a little bit in terms of not stocking huge amounts of new stuff, so that they didn't actually build up huge stocks. Nigel Cole says P-Class under review. Now, I wouldn't be surprised if maybe either another manufacturer buys up the tooling or has licensing rights to use the tooling and they get transferred to that, or possibly even of retailers such as Rails of Sheffield. If they've already been discussing things with Rails of Sheffield, then maybe you might find that some of the Hattons originals will transfer to
someone else.
To Rails of Sheffield, Sonic Models, EFE, Rails, somebody like that.
So our final thing that we've got today is Mark Wilson has been in his DeLorean again,
Oh,
He's been travelling back to Swindon Works in 1967.
Not Swinton, Swindon.
I said Swindon.
You
I've
sound
got a
like
blocked nose.
Have you? All right.
I now have the Hymex as shared on here a few weeks back, positioned inside a shop, he says. So here we go. If we can. Sorry about the knocking of the thing and the wobbly of the bits.
Aaronville says, Jenny, have some honey and lemon juice as a hot drink. Then linctus in honey coats the throat and calms the tickle.
This is really cool.
Warbler Production says, I can see Rapido buying the tooling for the 2 tank engines would suit that output very well. You never know. I mean, bear in mind, I will throw this out there, Accurascale have already bought the Class 66, so there's already a route there for some of the Hattons originals moving on to another manufacturer. So I would not be surprised if Accurascale possibly picked up things like the Andrew Barclay, the Biohack as well, as something that might fit their range.
Yeah.
Yeah, Ruben Ashwell, there's quite a few Swintons. There's a Swinton in Greater Manchester and a Swinton in Yorkshire.
These are just...
It's like his DeLorean really does get him to some great places.
Yeah.
And it's not just the model of Swindon Works erecting shop, which is really, really well done, but also it's like all the paraphernalia and the locomotives. You can see there the Class 35s in various states of renovation. I mean, each one of those in itself is quite an in-depth modelling project.
Yes. Every single part of this is just so good.
Yeah. So,
look at that. Hymex. The pipes look right. The wobble on them and all of that. It's just,
Leslie Gilpin Railway says, I'm waiting for Mark Wilson to put a Jenny 3D in one of his dioramas. I think he already
You weren't
did.
around in the 60s.
I know, but he might. There's a passenger seat in his DeLorean. Mark Wilson says, hello. Nicely wax on in from polishing up the DeLorean for its latest time travelling episode back to...
Mark Wilson is never late to the wagons, nor is he early.
Because his
DeLorean arrives precisely when he means to.
Absolutely. Charles Walsh says, wait, that's a model?
It is.
Yeah, this
is
Mark Wilson. Incredible
thanks,
model.
Gandalf.
I'm surprised, actually, Mark Wilson, you haven't got miniature Wonderland beating a path to your door, because quite frankly, you are one of the most incredible, I would say the best modeler in the country. With the standard of detail is just incredible.
They're fitting this locomotive with glasses. Look, it's trying out new specs.
No, well,
he's going,
I can't see it.
I'm loving this. This is so good.
Peachy TT120 says better with sound. We have got sound, haven't we? Are we still coming through? Yes, we are.
I'm not entirely sure he's talking about us.
Yeah, actually, it might be referring to a video that you played earlier on. I know that when I was downstairs, I was on quite a delay from what I could hear you say.
Yes.
And I do apologise for earlier on. I got a coughing fit so bad it made me throw up. So
she had to disappear.
Yeah, you didn't want to see that. Hi, Ryan. Hello to you. Great to see you. I hope you're well. And don't forget, everybody, please hit that like button. Consider sharing the stream to social media. Let other people know about the channel. And if you haven't already done so, then do please subscribe to the channel and consider ringing the notification bell to be the first to know about new videos that you chose to follow.
I like this idea from Richard Swiderski. You can tell it's a model, no cups of tea. This might be the way to tell whether it's a photo or a model, in the same way that when you look at a photo and you're thinking, is it AI or not? You look at the hands and whether they've got correct hands.
The only way I can tell it's a model is that there's not a group of people all stood around watching one guy doing a job. And one of them must have a clipboard, and at least one of them must be drinking a cup of tea. So
This is just wonderful.
yeah, till
to
you're
look at.
10. I've got some Vicks somewhere. Everybody's got Vicks. It just languishes in drawers.
It appears in your house when you buy one.
Yeah, it's like it'll be like 10, 15 years out of date, but Vicks doesn't go out of date.
I don't
not
think
unless
it can.
not unless you leave the lid off, let all the smell out.
Or you nuke it.
And Mark Wilson says, "Thank you, everyone, for your kind words." So you're welcome. See,
Yeah.
seriously, I think Miniature Wonderland is missing a trick. It's not getting you in because like it wouldn't be Miniature Wonderland so much as miniature like real world. Stevie Films says, "I tried to keep Hattons in business, spent thousands."
Yeah, it happens.
And Valley's 56XX says, "Mark will be putting 1 to 76 scale mugs of
Of Rosie on the layout. as well.
what's Rosie?"
I'm assuming that it's a kind of tea.
Okay.
A Rosie Lee cup of tea.
Yeah. Oh, right. Yeah. Thank you so much to Simon Snow, who's just joined with Jenny Kirk membership, and will be enjoying all of the unique benefits of Jenny Kirk membership.
And
you
if
want
Jenny
to
can
join
remember any of them,
in
I'll
the
be
club,
amazed.
then do check that out. It's quite inexpensive, actually.
Yeah, we try our best. Although even we are going to be changing some of the price structure.
And Sarah Davies says, "And one has to have a pencil rammed into the crack of their."
Beep.
No, usually it's behind. No, you have a rolled up cigarette behind an ear or something. That was the
But yes,
thing.
like I say, we're going to be changing some of the pricing things on the membership
Yeah?
because basically postage is going to destroy us.
Yeah, the cost of postage, unfortunately, has gone up to the point where there's a growing realization that we're paying people to take away the stuff we're sending
so
out.
with the we have a thing at the moment. If we get something physical every month, and in order to be able to offset some of the costs, I've been sending out in batches.
Yeah, so we basically wait for 3 or 4 months. If you're wondering why I've been paying all this money and I haven't got anything,
Yeah,
it's simply because
I might actually just drop it all together because the postage costs would put me from being a 20 quid level to like a 40 to 45 quid level, and I can't ask people to do that.
Well, put it up as an option, but don't be surprised if nobody goes for it. Quite
Yeah,
frankly,
I
and
suppose,
yeah,
yeah.
we don't begrudge people that. It is
Yeah.
very expensive.
And of course, I'll
time.
message everyone that's on that. Yeah.
Caroline Rogers says, "Night all, Jen. You need to rest." I know. And don't forget to join us tomorrow. We're going to be doing our customary Hornby live stream from we're going to say 10 o'clock, but do keep an eye on your feed. And we're going to be covering the Hornby releases tomorrow, so do come and join us for that. You will, of course, be able to watch that on catch up, and it's the fullest and foremostest review. Hopefully Hornby will be sending over the press release, so we will have all the information and we'll be going through that to make sure that you get the best and most in-depth coverage of the Hornby announcements.
But for now, I'm going to say that's it from us.
Is it?
Because
Okay.
unless you want to do a quick run-up of your predictions for Hornby in the last 10 minutes or so.
Katie Walker says police box by the engine shed entrance.
Is
Actually,
it?
Yes.
It is.
Yes, it is.
It's over there.
Well done.
I don't know why I've gone for the pirate accent, but I have.
You sound a lot more like you're about to tell off Norman Price.
Norman Price, what are you doing with those fires?
Norman Price, why are you throwing a Molotov cocktail into my shop?
Because I'm a git.
Yeah. My predictions tomorrow. I think surefire, we're going to learn about some of the new TXS profiles for the HM7000 Bluetooth range decoders. And they'll probably come, rather than being a list, it will be a case of, oh, they're doing a model released with that fitted. I think we'll see Class 20. Something GWR is very lacking from the list, so I think we'll see a King and or Castle. Possibly a J36. And in terms of models...
In terms of models, we'll have a big coughing fit from Jenny.
I think we're going to see some more Era 1 stuff. It would be nice to see something like a Planet or a Payton T. But also do remember that we've got the 200th anniversary of Railway. And this is something that the Real Railway did a 100th celebration, a 150th as well. So it stands to reason that on the 200th anniversary, there will be something to tie in with Hornby. And I'd like to think that possibly we will see an all-new retooled, something like their Caledonian single would be quite nice. And possibly even something like their teen single, is it the Achilles? We also, are we going to see something like a retooled D49? I say this every year actually, I would love to see a new retooled D49. My outside prediction is that maybe it's Hornby who have been working on the T3. It's dead cert somebody's working on it. I don't know who. It could be Bachman, it could be Accurascale, it could be Rapido, or it could be Hornby. If it is Hornby, I believe that we will find out tomorrow. So that's probably my top prediction on that front. And I think the Hornby 00 range will be expanded. We've seen Southern Railway, LMS, and we've also seen LNER. So I think that it's quite possible that we'll see GWR. So maybe a Hornby 00 version of the Castle, and that would also play into the TXS Castle profile getting it announced. Outside choice for me, I'd love to see the N2 get the Hornby 00 treatment, maybe with the existing tooling cascaded into Railroad Plus, with an update of the couplings and the addition of an 8-pin DCC socket within. East Coast Team says, I like the Railroad D49, best bargain ever at £35 for a DCC fitted loco. Where? I haven't seen, I would love one at that. Warbler Production says there should be more industrial steam locos, need more than just the packets from Hornby. I think that the Sentinel diesel shunters have kind of stuck a little bit. There's quite a few in the sales, and maybe the W4 packet as well will rest for a bit. But the B2 packet, there's still a lot of mileage and releases for that, and maybe even we will see an upgrade to some of these models to allow sound-fitted versions to be more readily available. Those are my predictions. Do join us for the roundup at 10 AM tomorrow, we're going to say, but do check your notification feed. So until next time, this is me, Jenny Kirk, very, very ill, you may have noticed. You take great care of yourself, and thank you for joining us. Don't forget to hit that like button, share the video to social media, and consider subscribing if you've not already done so. But until next time, this is me, Jenny Kirk, so you take great care of yourself. Happy modelling, bye for now.
The train now departing is the 2052 service express route to Bed for Jennifer. That's the 2052 express service to Bed for Jennifer. If you go up to the loft today, you're sure of a big surprise. If you go up to the loft today, you'll never believe your eyes.
Tony Wright says, Flymer, I've seen the official letter to the members of the Wally Show. Does Jenny know? I don't. I have not seen that. Colour me intrigued. Would love to know. I've not seen it.
No. For every train there ever was that's gathered there together, because today's the day that Jenny does the Monday Club. Good night.
Good night, everyone. There was questions about pre-orders. Hattons are not taking any new pre-orders. As for existing pre-orders,
contact Rails of Sheffield.
They're suggesting that Rails of Sheffield will be able to help you out, but also do check in with your local model shop and support your local model shop. But it looks to be that your existing pre-orders won't automatically move across. You have to proactively chase that up and replace them with another retailer.
Yeah. And yeah, shocking news today.
It is very shocking news. It's come completely out of the blue.
Right, I've got to go and set up for Game Hammer. I need you to press the buttons that do the things that turn things off so that you can go to bed.
No, I'm just not going to talk. I'm going to sit over here and not talk.
Alright, you play trains for a bit. You play with your choo-choos. Well done tonight. You've got through it, and I'm proud of you, but please get some rest.
Oh, Flymo Chairman 1 says, Tony writes, says, hi Jenny and Zoe, the Worley show is not happening this year as the Worley Club are having a general meeting this month where the recommendation is no more shows due to falling attendance.
Oh my goodness. Oh my goodness.
It's like all go, isn't it?
Okay, we'll be following up on that tomorrow.
We will, yes. Big thank you as well to Charles Walsh, who has incredibly generously sent £7.52 on the paypal.me. Thank you so much for your generosity. Tony Wright says, reference Worley show this year, fewer traders, higher costs, and the organisers wish to retire, so unless new volunteers come forward, that's it for the Worley show. That is most unfortunate, but quite understandable, given a lot of the costs that have driven so many things. We've seen Hattons cite costs as being a big part of their decision to wind down trading. I think unfortunately we're going to see more of this in the future. I hope we don't, but I think we will. Nick at Bletchton High Level says Ali Powley will be the next for the chop. I hope not. What was interesting was the Great Electric Train show this year was probably the most successful show they've ever had. In terms of numbers, it was an absolute record. They had to shut the doors at several points during the weekend because there were just too many people for the venue. But yeah, Fly My Chairman 1, I think, looking the same in a few places now. Folks retiring has a huge effect. And, quite often you find the same people have been organising it for often decades. And when they decide actually want to retire, there's no volunteers coming forward to actually take up the reins. And I think we might see that a lot with some more of the Model Rail Club organised shows. Yeah, Ham Shackleton, absolutely. And I've seen that back in the days of broadcasting. I used to do a lot of stuff with local radio stations, RSL stations, so run by volunteers. And it was very much apparent that there would be a small group of people prepared to put the work in, but a lot of people who like to share the glory. And over time, if nobody new comes forward, then you get an attrition. Sea Cadets was the same. And we used to find that if you did a week away where you go and do sailing and power boating, all the staff would come out of the woodwork to do that. But when it came to the day-to-day running of the Sea Cadet unit, it would always be the same people who put the work in, and that was hard work. And as the people got older, then sometimes it did feel like there was nobody to take their place. Tony Wright says, Jenny, there is a suggestion for a new show at a new venue and date for Wally, plus new organisers. All will be revealed soon, and I hope you and Zoe get set well soon. Thank you so much, absolutely, and do keep us informed, because I know I've just sent a message actually to a couple of manufacturers, and one of them messaged me back and went, "What do you mean, no Wally? What are we supposed to do?" So I think that any new show would be welcomed by a lot of the industry. Ben Tullett says preserved railways are similar, as a lot of the volunteers are getting older and there are only small numbers of younger volunteers like myself volunteering. Absolutely, and there's certain jobs that increasingly you find people just don't want to do. I mean, it's not the sexy part of running a preserved railway, but somebody's got to clean the toilets. Somebody's got to do the gardening. Somebody's got to do the litter picking. And not everybody can be the engine driver. Stormy69 says, to be fair, I've bought loads of goodies from Hattons since I got back into the hobby a few years ago. I still remember my very first Network Rail yellow livery coach from them. Thanks, Hattons. Yeah, and in terms of Hattons memories, I've got childhood memories of going to the shop in Smithdown Road, the original shop. I used to get on very well with Norman Hatton. I was just a child, but I was an autistic child and knew an awful lot about Hornby 00 because I'd made it my thing to know everything there was. And I think Norman respected having somebody who actually knew what they were talking about with regards to Hornby 00. And he would bring things out of his stock room that were officially he didn't have. And he would sell them to me at a really great price. My dad found this just incredible, that Norman Hatton would bring out Hornby 00 super detailed Southern Region green coaches. Now these things are like gold dust, even in the 1990s. And, me, the sort of, 12, 13-year-old kid, would engage him in conversation. He'd say, hold on, I've got something you might be interested in. And he'd go and get a couple of these and bring them down. They were brand new in the box from his stash. And he'd be like, oh, to you, 20 quid. And it was just like unbelievable. And then you got him in a bad mood and he'd deny that these things even exist. Go, no, I haven't got anything like that. Haven't got it. So yeah, I've got memories going right back of Hattons. Later on, when I got back into model railways after university, I can remember buying Bachmann Mark 1s at £10 a coach from there, and just putting huge orders in. All of my regional railway coaches came from Hattons at £10 each. So I'm struggling, talking and banging on the cough. So we're going to start to round off now, and your live streaming entertainment will continue with the Game Hammer Classic Gaming Show. It's the Monday night anything goes all request show. All you have to do is click the prompt to say yes when it comes up, and you will be moved automatically across to that live stream. But from me here at the Weir Yard Emporium, you guys take great care of yourself, and happy modelling. Bye for now. Actually, no, I can hear her moving about. I don't think she started yet. So we'll hang on just a little bit longer. Go for it, painting. Big hello to you. It's so great to see you, and I hope I find you well. You catch us right at the end of the stream, although you can watch it on the rewind and catch up with everything that you missed. Big news for today. In fact, 2 huge bombshells. Originally, we're going to just talk about the Hornby announcements tomorrow. We do have a live stream covering that from 10. But 2 big bombshells have dropped. The first one just before we came on air, that Hattons is closing down. It's a complete operation. I've just had it confirmed that that does include the US operation that they've only recently purchased as well. Which has come as quite some surprise. So I have talked to Richard Davies, who's one of the co-owners of Hattons. I just really wanted to make sure all was well. I think that's the thing that often gets overlooked, that there's real people, real livelihoods embedded in all of this, and I wanted to make sure that he was okay. So he's told me that everything is. He's okay. I've also spoken to Jack Morgan as well. So it's come as an absolute shock to a lot of people. But they've been a fixture of the hobby since 1946. It is unbelievable. The other breaking news that we learnt whilst we were on air is that the Wally show at the NEC. This is the fixture of our calendar, been running for 30 plus years, if not more, is no more. As it stands, there will not be the big Wally NEC show due to falling attendance costs. Falling attendance, less retailers going along, and less attendance by Joe-Cube public, and also rising costs. However, the people who organise it, they wish to retire, and if they can find somebody to take over, it may come back in a smaller format at a smaller venue. And I've got really bad illness. Big hello to Bob McGook, Flint Hills Model Rower, Jeff Hammond. Yes, that's correct. They purchased another company in the USA in November, MB Klein. MB Klein, I have been told, not through Hattons, but by another person, so we'll check that out. But apparently that is closing as well. So we're going to wind down now. You guys take great care of yourself. Happy modelling. Bye for now.